I'm Bella Laveau, and my face is already done because I forgot to do my intro. Oh. Hey, my widow creeps. Hi, I'm Bella Laveau. If you've never been here before, and if you have been here before, then what up, though? So, by the title, I know you're probably like, what is going on? Today, we're going to do a little makeup and talk about some truths, because it's definitely not a myth. Today, I am starting the series Voodoo Tales of the Bayou. This series was actually named by a subscriber of mine. Thank you so much. You know who you are. I want to say it was Geek to Chic, but I'm going to figure that out because she recommended the name for this series like probably almost over a year and something ago. Probably more than that, but that tell y'all how much I be having going on, right? But anyway, I don't want to hold y'all too long. We're going to get started and get right into it. So basically, I kind of tried to start a series similar to this or something in this range last year sometime. I don't know. I mean, it had an okay response, but I didn't keep it up, so maybe I didn't see what it really could be. I was just kind of like, maybe y'all are not interested in this, but this is something that I am going to do. I'm just going to take various stories. You can also email me in some of your stories if you have like some creepy things that have happened and you want me to tell your story while I do my makeup or do my hair. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day, but right now we're going with makeup. I think that this will be really, really cool to do. They got like a lot of murder mystery stuff going on, but like I said, about a year or two ago, this was brought up, and I just didn't think that it was gonna be interesting for y'all. But we about to see if y'all really like this, because I absolutely love the murder mystery and makeup type of stories. So this is not exactly like murder mysteries, but it is very interesting stuff that a lot of people are, you know, interested in and just don't know where to start. So basically, today we're going to be talking about, for the first real episode, because the last one, I will link it. I'm not going to say it was an episode of this, but it was going to be a part of my series that was basically whatever makeup palette I was using. I was going to tell a story or talk about a topic that was similar to what the theme of the makeup palette was. So it wasn't fully this, but it ended up being this because it was a very creepy tale. But anyway, so this is going to be the first official episode of Voodoo Tales on the Bayou, and what other way than to start off but with one of my ancestors, Miss Marie Laveau, the queen, voodoo queen voodoo of the Bayou. Okay, first story, Voodoo Tales of the Bayou, is going to be featuring none other than Miss Marie Laveau. So Miss Marie Laveau is known to be Queen Voodoo, the voodoo queen of Louisiana, of New Orleans. It's so many different stories surrounding her, and I'm not going to really say many different stories, but it is a lot of shows, movies, books, whatever that is surrounding her. And today I'm just going to basically minimize it all for you, and we're just going to talk about her life, how she got started, just give information on Miss Marie Catherine Laveau. Marie Catherine Laveau was born in 1801, even though some references state that she was actually born in 1794. It's a little bit of unclear information on the exact year, but for the most part, we're going to say 1801, right? So she was born in 1801, and her birthday actually was September the 10th, 1801, which means she was a Virgo. Explains a lot, huh? Marie Laveau was born to an African woman by the name of Marguerite d'Arcantel and Charles Laveau. It is said that she was of Creole descent, which is basically described in most parts as African American, some parts Native American. A lot of times in Louisiana, it may also include some Caucasian descent. based on the slavery and everything that was taking place. I can get deeper into the Creole nature if you guys would like. Leave a like below or comment down below if you're more interested in the actual Louisiana Creole, because we know there's different types, Haitian, etc. Louisiana Creole is derived from that, but I can definitely get more into that if you are interested in that. My family is actually Creole. They speak the language, me not so much, but I'm trying to work on it so that I can pass it down to my sons. But anyway, so Marie Laveau basically was reported to help heal the sick. Herbalist used her gifts to help the poor, as well as overseeing different spiritual rites, training people, things of that sort. She also was said to be a hairstylist, but those myths are kind of unsure of if it's between Marie or actually Marie number 2, which we'll get in that as well. Marie number 2 was Marie Laveau's daughter. Both of her daughters were named Marie. Yeah. Marie Laveau was known to be an herbalist, a spiritual healer. She helped the poor. She also did counsel for the rich. Okay, so this was like, let me get y'all coin though. She also was a midwife. Everybody knows that I want to be a doula, but that's another story for another day. I'm working on that too. But she was a midwife. She was said to be a hairstylist and the voodoo queen. Let's just throw it in there after that, right? I just want to inform y'all that this is my first time doing this, so I'm working on like taking my notes, trying to memorize some of my notes. So just bear with me while I get this rolling and get used to doing this, okay? Because I am a terrible multitasker, if you can't tell. So, all right, so we're going to fast forward, right? We're going to get into the meat of the sandwich. So Marie Laveau was married to a Creole man from Saint Domingue, which is now called Haiti, and his name was Jacques Patty. Okay, oh, that's sexy, Jacques Patty. So reportedly he disappeared. Okay, after he disappeared, she started to refer to herself as Widow Paris, and of course, people not knowing this where this disappearance came from. Like, did he disappear? Did he die? Like, we don't know, but we are talking about Marie Laveau here, so. So basically, after he died, it was reported that she started another relationship. It doesn't say a time frame, but the way that it describes it, like it might have been kind of quick that Miss Thing moved on to the next situation. That's what I'm talking about, Marie. Like, they don't wait for you. Why are we waiting for them? Move on, girl. Move around. So she started a relationship with a man with a really long name by the name of Jean-Christophe Dumini de Glapion. I actually know some Glapions. I have a friend that's a Glapion. But anyway, so together they had several children. If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe she had any children with the first husband. But her and Jean-Louis, they started having the children or whatever. Now, it's to be said that some of her kids died from yellow fever that was attacking the area. At the time, it's also said to be that she may have actually saved some lives from yellow fever during that time as well. The whole yellow fever thing, it took over because New Orleans drainage system is poor and it still is. Hope there's no other yellow fever outbreak, because it's gonna be plenty that don't make it. So Marie was known to be a very, very good mother. She was very, very in tune with taking care of her children, but she also had a whole lot of spiritual children within the community. Like, that was her thing. She kind of really reminds me of my mother, because my mother has a lot of children on her own. Okay, we call her Miss Wayne, and then she'll turn around and be like adopting other people's kids and wanting to have other kids, and like, girl, stop. So basically, it's said that Marie, she started doing hair at first to, you know, give herself some extra income for her and the family. At the time, through the interaction with her black clients who were house servants, basically kind of exposed to the personal information of the wealthy, and a lot of them actually sought out her as clients. So even though she may have had spiritual gifts, Marie, she was like, oh, I know who gonna be needing this help, so let me, you know, work my way up in there. Let me slide off up and through there, because, you know, sister mistress, madam of the house got this issue going on, and I know she want me to help her husband stop cheating. Period. She would get a lot of wealthy clients that will come to her, and a lot of them were politicians, okay, But you know, New Orleans always had dirty politicians, even in 1801. But that's another story for another day. A lot of people really came to her. Mainly, one of her biggest things was protections against like evil energy that had been placed against them. So basically, they come into her like, look, sis, somebody put something on me or whatever. I feel like something is on me. Get it off. So now that we have gotten to this part about like, okay, you know, somebody put something on me, let's get it off. Let's kind of like get a little bit of the origin of voodoo in New Orleans. Okay, so basically voodoo is a religious system, or considered to be a religious situation, you know what I'm saying? Actually, in Louisiana, a lot of the slaves that came, they tried to practice, but what they had to do was hide it within Christianity. So Marie actually would take Christianity and voodoo and kind of mesh them together to do her thing. She was, you know, with the religious swirl. Vanilla and vanilla, swirl, 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 swirl. Taking it, putting it together, and kind of, you know, creating like a different style of voodoo, but that's actually derived from the original version. Louisiana is known to be very, very Catholic and have a lot of religious systems, and yeah, that thing. So voodoo is basically said to be derived from spiritual practices that came from a place called the homie, like the homie, you know, the homie. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, and it's basically a historic Western African kingdom. But I want to say that it has changed to the name of Benin now. Yeah, it's Benin. Benin. It is now Benin, and voodoo is actually a foreign word that means spirit or deity. And it was basically transported to the United States during the slave trade. Of course, the transatlantic slave trade, to be exact. African religion was really brought to New Orleans, of course, by the initial slaves, which I did state to you. From there, it just got like strengthened and it flourished and it became a thing, and like African people were constantly being brought in, you know what I'm saying, like especially after the revolution in Saint Domingue, which was like between 1791 and like 1804. So that is actually during the time that Marie Laveau was born, which is pretty cool as well. Voodoo actually strengthened the community of New Orleans because people came together as one to do it, and voodoo is known to be a very like communal type of religion. Like everybody comes together, everybody helps each other. Like that's the type of thing that they do. The voodoo practice in Louisiana is not really the purest like form of voodoo that it was derived from, because it does have a different mixtures and cultural differences or whatever. But yeah, basically it's derived from that. So voodoo in New Orleans consists of a lot of what people call root work. There's things like gree bags, which are kind of like juju, but gree bags are basically like herbs that you put together to keep on you for different things: love, protection, money, career, things like that, right? So basically people would seek out, you know, different conjurers or spiritual workers to give them these type of gree bags for protection or whatever it is that they wanted. So Marie Laveau was of course a part of this culture. I hope that I'm like staying in frame throughout this. I'm probably going to end up doing this video again and like posting it again, but I do want to post this very first raw one. So it is said that Marie Laveau may have been the granddaughter of a powerful priestess that was in Saint Domingue. So Marie basically got drawn more to the religion after the death of her mother, and she underwent being taught by Dr. John Bayou, and he was a well-known Senegalese conjurer. Marie, let's just get into it. Marie didn't take a long time to basically dominate the culture of this. Okay, so it was actually two other priestesses that was before Marie that was like taking over the city or whatever, and they was like, you know, they was the one. After, you know, a while, Marie had beef, you know what I'm saying? Like they had voodoo beef. They had voodoo beef in the community because they was jealous because she had took over and whatnot. I told you I'm a bad multitasker, so that's why this is taking me so long. But anyway, Marie had a little voodoo beef the chicks was like, nah sis, like you tripping, you know what I'm saying? But Marie was not to be played with. She was like, no sis, like y'all could do your thing over there and leave me alone, but I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you or whatever. People would come to Marie Laveau for marital affairs. They would come for luck, for advice, trying to stop their husbands from cheating on them, being whatnot. So Marie had different little ritual spaces that she would use in New Orleans, sometimes near her home, also near the Pontchartrain River, Congo Square. Like she would get everybody together on Sundays and they would just dance and worship and eat and have, you know, a whole lot of fun or whatever. Like I said, I could get way deeper off up into some of the other things that she used to do and all of that, but if y'all like this, then let me know and I would definitely do that. Where she would have everybody at on Sundays, they didn't do like big rituals or nothing there. So it's to be said that when she would do the ceremony, she was to be accompanied by her king, which is basically kind of like what she would call him, like her, you know, her little right hand man type of situation. And it was to be said that like a lot of white people, they would sneak off in the woods because they wanted to see what was going on. So they would sneak off in the woods. They would be out there like trying to witness the rituals or whatever. Like, what is wrong with white people sometimes? Dude, why is you out here? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I really believe that it just reminds me of how they are in scary movies. Like, what you going to see that for? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You really out here with the voodoo priestess and all the voodoo folk, and you out here spying on their ritual, not for them to catch you and sacrifice you or something. Like, what are you doing? But anyway, you out here doing all that, enough for them to catch you and do whatever they feel like they want to do. Number one, this during like slave times and whatnot, your white ass out here, you know, black people was angry. Like, enough for them to take you and do whatever. And this is during the time that people just be killing people and don't be caring. So come on now, little Johnny, doing too much. Going back to the beef, right? There was two other ladies who were actually queen before her. First lady's name, her name was, try to pronounce this right, Sanite Dede. And she basically ruled for several years before, you know, her rule was taken over by another lady of the name of Marie Solope. She's actually the one who introduced Laveau to the life or whatever. I'm just gonna say not introduced her to the life, but was the one who gave her all the intricate details or whatever of the religion and provided her with other fundamental things. So she started her off, and then that's when she moved on to Dr. John Bayou, and he, you know, continued her teaching, if I understand that properly, because it's basically stated like she was introduced to the most intricate parts by the second queen, and then she continued to learn and expand from Dr. John Bayou. So Laveau about to do some real Virgo shit and decide that she like, yeah, I'm the voodoo queen, and that's that, and that's on period. I'm the voodoo queen, and that's what it is. And I said what I said, and that's what it's gonna be. Okay, so basically Marie was like, okay, look, so I'm taking over this shit, and that's what it is, and that's what it says, and that's on period. Like, she went unchallenged because sis was it, okay? So she went unchallenged for a long time, really up until like 1850. So she was born in 1801, then that means she would be around 49 years old at the time, okay? If we going with the 1801 date. This other Creole woman by the name of Rosalie, girl, she was like, oh no sis, I'm about to challenge you. Challenge! Like, it's about to go down. We about to have a motherfucking voodoo fight up in this bitch, right? Oh girl, like, she had this huge life-size statue, right, that had came from, it was somewhere from Africa. I didn't get the exact place, but it was from Africa, right? So it basically like created an aura, and it like made people scared. So they was like, oh no, Rosalie is, yeah. So Laveau was like, no, Rosalie ain't nothing. And I'm about to show y'all, no,
you're cruising for bruising.
When she put the statue out there or whatever, like, it was a real intricate type of statue or whatever, and like people, you know, in the community like began expressing like the respect and like the fear, like they were scared, you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, this the next up and coming, you know, sister girl or whatever, baby. But when she tried to do that, Laveau stole stole her statue out her yard. It was like, nope. When she stole the statue or whatever, like, oh girl, Ted took her to court. She was like, oh no, sister stole my statue. We about to go to court. Like, is you crazy? Laveau was like, yep, sure am. And I stole your statue, bitch. Now what you gonna do? And that's that. So she got taken to court or whatever. Her persuasiveness, Marie Laveau, baby, she had pulled out a little narcissistic persuasiveness, manipulation, and she influenced them to have the doll permanently removed. Those other like voodoo workers and like voodooists and stuff that got some, you know, attention during Laveau reign, but nobody could take over, and that was that. So later on in life, Marie decided to move her practice across the Mississippi River. And this place that we call back home is called Algiers. So that's where she decided to move herself to. And Algiers was like the first point of where enslaved would check in. It was a port. After looking at our family records, it's to be said that like my great, I don't know how many greats, but grandfather and grandmother actually checked in to that specific port. So that's a little fun fact. Fast forward, Marie reigned all the way through that up until she actually died in 1881. At that time, or whatever, hold on. The voodoo participants kind of like died off. Well, not died off, but it lost a lot of participants after her death. More Christianity, Catholicism type of things started to kind of roll in. So voodoo was kind of like shunned, for lack of a better phrase. But you already know how we are here in America, or just period. Anything you don't understand, most time if people are afraid of it because they don't understand it, they kind of shun it. Yeah. Like I was saying, voodoo kind of like took on other forms, being incorporated into other religions in different ways. I can remember, you know, me as for growing up, going to like a non-denominational type of church and digging deep into like the voodoo religion. I see a lot of similarities. Don't crucify me for this, but I'm just saying, like, I see a lot of similarities with how things go on, like catching the Holy Ghost in the possession of a spirit in voodoo religion. It's a lot of similarities. If y'all want me to have a video breaking that down too, I definitely can. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I'm just saying that there's a lot of similarities. Laveau is buried in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 in New Orleans. A lot of people visited that grave, but right now, from what I know, I think as of 2015, they basically turned it to where you have to have a tour guide because people were vandalizing some of the graves or whatever. But I honestly feel like you have to have a tour guide because if they're charging for it, it makes the city money. Let's just be honest. And New Orleans is a tourist city. So let's just keep it all the way 100. So when you visit her, it's a little like ritual that you do out there if you want to ask for a wish. If it becomes granted, then you come back, you circle your X's on her grave, leave her an offering or whatever. Like when I was saying about like Creole descent, a lot of it is French inspired. So when I say white, how can I say it? That's like the, I don't even know what to call it, because like you can't say inspired because it's not saying like you're making up a race, but like it's fake, but I don't know, or like it's a copy, but because it's not Louisiana, because of how the slave trade was going and all of that. And like some people, from what I know, some of my people actually traveled in from Nova Scotia, Canada, and it just became this big old mix. So yeah, Creole language is like a very, very broken French. It's different, but more so a very, very broken French. The language is really dying, and it's sad because a lot of the people like in our family, the older people, what they would do is they would speak it in front of us and not fully teach the younger kids because that was a way of saying what they wanted to say without us knowing what was going on. Yeah, so that kind of like hurt us a little bit in the long run because now I only know certain things. I can understand more than I can speak, and I'm trying now. I gotta try to get back on track. My mama be getting frustrated with me when it come down to her like teaching me certain, she be getting frustrated. So I don't know, I might have to get with one of the older people in my family that still use it and see if they'll take the time to teach me more so that I can speak it more fluently and teach it to my sons so they can teach it to their kids and it can continue to go on. You know what I'm saying? So this video has gotten extremely long, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to like cut this down. So now moving on past her death, the only You can actually find her marriage records too. That is public knowledge. Her husband, Harry, which was the first one, also had a second name, which was Santiago. So I don't know if you want to get into that and actually like look up some of that stuff. That might be good information for you. Laveau's only 2 kids to survive actually into adulthood was both of her daughters, which were Marie and Marie. Marie Icariste Eloise Laveau, and her second daughter name was Marie Philomene Glapion. So y'all know, if your majesty actually likes to chew up my sponges. I know it's a weird thing, but he likes to chew up my sponges, so I'm gonna use a brush today to put on my foundation, which I normally don't do, but I am today. So it is really unknown right now which one of those 2 daughters became Marie the second. Remember I was telling y'all that? Yeah, that's not super clear as to which one it is, but it's also known that the daughter was way more cynical than she was. So some of the stories that you may hear about like being cynical may actually have been the workings of the daughter. Not that Marie didn't do her fair share, but that she was more so of a helper in her practices, versus having to do other things that may not be so kind. Not that she would not, but that really wasn't her main focus. Okay, she, to me, it seems like she was more into the manipulation arts. Like, for instance, she got this guy off who was going to be going to jail for a long time, a white guy. I want to say that the crime may have been, I feel like it was rape. Don't quote me on that one though. I'm going to have to go look that up a little bit more. This is a story that I heard when I was a child. This is not something that I actually have in my research right now, but that she was able to get him off. Now it is to be said that she found out some things on the judge, and that also helped sway the decision, but that sis also did her workings as well to get him off, due to the fact that she was a master of the arts of spirituality as well as manipulation. I wouldn't be surprised if she did a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? To get, you got to use what you got to get what you want. I don't think Ronnie came up with that quote. That sounds like a Marie Laveau quote to me. But her daughter is not so, we're unsure of if it was the oldest daughter that became her, what they call it, not suppressor, what they call it when you are like following behind, that became her, the person after her. Sis was a lot. Like, it was a lot. Now, she actually stayed married to Mr. Glapion. She stayed married to him until he died in 1855 or whatever. So as of right now, it's to say that they had 15 children together. I'm calling him her husband, but from what it looks like is Marie actually was just in a domestic partnership with him. Like, she was just like, yeah, thug, I already did that marriage stuff. I ain't doing it again. I'm good on that. Like, I'm real good on that. So yeah, we ain't gotta do that. Nah, let's just shack up, like the Christian folks say. Let's just shack up. All right, that's gonna be just fine for me. And he was like, okay, girl. She probably had buried his drawers in the backyard though, so he probably ain't had no choice but to stay. That's T. All the men in Louisiana, especially, or outside of Louisiana, feel about Louisiana women and what they think we do to them when we first meet them and be trying to keep them. And I be trying to explain to them, baby, herbs is high. Don't, you not even worth me spending the money on the herbs again. Like, come on now. It don't be the rich men who be saying, but you don't put something on me, it be the broke ones. Like, stop, dude. No, I did not. I absolutely did not. Yeah, they was reported to have 15 children. It's not really known if that was counting grandchildren too, or if that was just children, period. But as for like baptismal records and stuff that was found, because just like I told you, she combined voodoo with Christianity. So I know I'm skipping around and I'm all over the place with this. Like I said, this is my first time doing this, and I just want to see how it goes and how y'all like it. And I just couldn't bring myself to do this and she not be the first one that I do. So when Marie died, it was actually put in the Daily Picayune. They just stated that she died peacefully in her home. Now, as Marie's daughter got older, it used to be said that she was saying that she was actually the Marie Laveau early on to basically confuse people into thinking that her daughter was her and that she was immortal and was not aging. So I know y'all probably like, wait, she named all her daughters Marie. Well, that was actually part of like the Catholic religion, was to name the girls after the mother and the boy's name Joseph, or not even really after the mother, but just the name Marie. And it just so happened that Marie's name was Marie. Her daughter took over right after Marie Laveau's death. So Marie has had all types of books that included her, movies, songs that talk about her and what she did. Yeah, she was just well known and well loved. Sometimes I think that in like stories that get told like this, a lot more of, I don't want to say evil, but I guess I could say evil. A lot more of that is what gets focused on in these types of situations versus like that she actually was a helpful and a good person in the community, and that's what she did mainly. Like she wanted to be a help to people as well. Now you can't play with her, but she wanted to help as well, not just, you know, be like, oh, I'm just out here messing over people with root work. She was bomb at that. That ain't all she did, you know? That ain't all she did. She wanted to help the community. She wanted to teach people how to heal themselves. She wanted to, you know, show people that they could take care of themselves. Lil Laveau, she was known to be way more cynical than her mother. She focused more so on the dark part of it. That was most of her thing. She loved to for real manipulate and just do other things aside from just like helping the community like her mama did. She was more so into, I'm gonna show you. I wonder when her birthday was. She probably was a Scorpio. So if you have not watched American Horror Story Coven, I definitely suggest that you watch it. Definitely has Marie Laveau. It also has another character that I will be talking about by the name of Delphine Lalaurie. Madame Lalaurie. Deborah was crazy, and she's a Pisces, so I'm definitely going to be telling her story. She actually was born on my birthday, but I don't even know. I don't even want to be associated with this lady. I actually have done reports on both Marie and Lalaurie in school. This has been a fascination. So please tell me how y'all like this. I'm going to work on better my storytelling skills while multitasking a lot better. If y'all want me to like tell another story, like more stories on Marie Laveau, well, I can tell like probably one more, you know, that just like goes into detail about like her pet snake and other little mystical things, then please comment and let me know that below. Let me finish this up. So everything that I'm using will be below. I just thought that it would just make my multitasking even harder to try to talk about products and tell the story like I was, oh, it's just too much. I got to work on this. I'm leaving my hair wrapped up. I really was going to like wrap it up because that's what Marie did. She used to have a little hair wrap on, baby. Okay, not playing. Like I said, everything will be down below, but these are Luscious Laveau lashes that I am putting on. Oh, baby, this smell like what I would want to smell like, or what I would want my man to smell like. You know what this really smell like to me though? It smells like Sephora. This is a luminous setting mist. Y'all know I love a luminous face. That's my judge. But I'm going over it with the honey all night or two because so this is the finished look, and that is the story about Marie Laveau. Like I said, it's so many more things. This video probably is already going to be way too long because I'm just getting used to this and I'm trying to work it out to where I can focus on like the facts and do the makeup. See, when I'm just talking and doing makeup, that's a little different, even though those videos end up being really long too. But in instance of this one, like, I hope y'all like this. Let me know if you are really interested in this Voodoo Tales of the Bayou story. My next story will be on Delphine Lalaurie and in Coven American Horror Story. Those two actually cross paths. It's really cool how they put those two together. So if you are interested in more of this, if you like this, please leave a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment below and let me know. Even give me some pointers on how you feel like maybe I could tell the story better or how I could focus a little better on the information and like doing the makeup. Would y'all like to see me do hair instead? Like, let me know like what y'all really think below, because I'm interested in seeing what y'all actually like. Like I said, this has been something that I've been thinking about doing for like almost 2 years now. Actually, I want to say I was given this idea before Majesty was even born, and I just said, okay, look, it's time to follow through. It's a little harder to record these types of videos with Majesty, but I'll do my best to do these whenever I have help with him so that I can focus and get these out. But yeah, okay, enough of that. I love you guys. Yeah, and that's all I can say. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all of my new subscribers. Like, I've been seeing y'all come through or whatever. Y'all really like that fancy video. So yeah, but yeah, I love you guys. I will talk to you later. Ooh, bye. Hi, I'm Bella Laveau if you've never been here before. So, first story, Voodoo Tales of the Bayou. Oh, their name,